Hello and welcome back to the Football Terrace, ladies and gentlemen. The Europa League knockout playoff draw. We are live to see who Manchester United come up against in a game that we don't want to be in for numerous reasons. Nobody wants to be in, but we are. And there's a number of big teams that Manchester United could get. Myself, KJ, Neeks, and Tom will be with you throughout. Make sure like buttons are being smashed. Make sure you're subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. KJ's here with me now. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm annoyed that they're not also doing the round of 30 or the round of 16 draw as well at the same time as this. I think it would have made sense. But other than that, I think, barring maybe one or two teams, Man United should be confident with any game that they get, to be fair.
Yeah, I hear you on that. When we look at the teams in this, you know, I don't really want to play Bayern Munich. I don't really want to play Sevilla. But the rest, I have no fear of playing. I think that we're better than them. The reason I say Sevilla is because Sevilla have just got such a great record in this competition. It's sort of ingrained within their DNA. And listen, Barcelona weren't great in the group stages, but who bloody knows by the time we get to February if they find that mid-season form like last year. But, you know...
You mean Leverkusen, by the way?
No.
The Leverkusen. You said...
Did I say... I meant Barcelona. I do that with them.
Barcelona. Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry, Barcelona. Sorry. Slip of the tongue. Sorry. Yeah, like, you know, if they find that mid-season form like they did last year, they could be very dangerous. They've got a lot of great players in their team, but it is what it is in many ways. So we play. I mean, I don't want these two games. I was frustrated about it after the poor performance. That's been exacerbated by the fact that we lost this weekend. It's a couple of bad performances on the bounce, but we will see. I do get the feeling though it's going to be Ajax for
the
story's sake. And in fairness, Ajax aren't very good at the minute. The Ajax are really bad.
They're not the team that they were under Ten Hag. You know, I mean, I've seen obviously the infamous European lad, the famous Ajax fan. He is not happy, and you know he loves to wax lyrical about his team. But yeah, Ajax would be an interesting draw. Personally, I don't want them. Personally, I don't know why. It's just the idea of losing to Ajax. I can't. After taking Ten Hag, Martinez, and flipping Anthony, I can't deal with it. I'm just like, no. Let's leave that alone. Maybe in the quarters.
Yeah. Man United Sporting. I wouldn't mind a bit of Sporting.
I'd like that.
Listen,
I would like that.
There's a story good. There is. What's the story?
Ronaldo.
Oh, Ronaldo. He won't be here. He's gone in January.
He
might be at Sporting. They're not in the Champions League now. Yeah, look, I think Ronaldo will be gone in January. Ronaldo has to be gone in January. And I'm sure this will come up more on the top 6 show later. But a lot of people are getting at me for my tweet saying that he's finished and he shouldn't be in the team. But what about Rashford? What about Shaw's bad game? I made a specific tweet about Ronaldo that doesn't alleviate everybody else of blame yesterday. We do need to improve in our left back area. Rashford did have a bad game yesterday. I'm not denying that. But Ronaldo is finished and he's playing as our main number 9. And it's an important, pivotal position in the Man United team. And you know, it's the way the world is. I always go back to that Ricky Gervais joke, one ironically that James Corden stole the other day, that Twitter is like a town square. And we've all got these notice boards in our towns that people advertise dog walking, babysitting, guitar lessons. And Ricky Gervais made this joke where he said Twitter is like this. It's like going into your town square, going up to the notice board, seeing that somebody's advertising guitar lessons, ripping down the advertising pamphlet and screaming out loud, I don't want guitar lessons. Well, it's not for you. Like, my tweet was specifically talking about Ronaldo. If you watch my content and read other tweets, you see me criticizing other elements of the game. That's the bit that frustrates me the most. But yeah, Ronaldo's got to go. I wouldn't mind back to Sporting. I wouldn't mind playing Sporting. I mean, I don't think they're that good. They just outplayed Tottenham when Tottenham were being negative. As soon as Tottenham upped the ante and started attacking, they put it on them. You know, it's an Antonio Conte tactic to be so negative. Yes, Sporting Lisbon. As long as we're playing well, I've got no fear we can beat. And I think what the exciting thing for Man United is that, look, we had a bad day yesterday in the office, but we didn't even get that much banter online. Why? Because everyone kind of knows that this team's improved, and there's no, I don't think there's any feeling amongst rival fans right now that United have not gone to another level, not Champions League level, not title contention level, but we're not a joke banter club standard of play anymore. And I'm confident by February, more time, with Eric Ten Hag, more time with this system. I'm confident we can beat most teams. I just want to avoid a few. You know, I'd like to avoid Barcelona at this point until we're a little bit more settled. But outside of that, play anyone. Didn't get banter online. Yeah, bro, I've been on live streams when Man United have lost before. Yesterday was a little bit of banter, but it was nothing in comparison. So the average viewing, one sec, bro. So the average live viewing figures from Man United loss last season was 6,500. Yesterday we had 3,500. So that tells me there was not the. By the way, there was a 45-minute break between our game ending and the Liverpool game kicking off, and that tells me the appetite to banter Man United right now isn't as high as it used to be. Sorry, what are you going to say, right?
No, and I was going to say we get told to calm down when we don't like things now. You know what I mean? By rivals, so it clearly shows that we're not in this mad banter state. Funny enough, the Europa League draw video is started, and we were the first ones on first team to be announced because we're the biggest team in the competition. So
I think it's crazy when you look at it, though. I mean, there are some. I mean, there's obviously other teams in this. Arsenal are in this as well, but there is some big teams in this. You know, when you think about who might be in the next round of this, the actual draw that comes through with Arsenal being there, you could have Ajax, Barcelona, Salzburg, you know, Juve, Man United, Roma. Could all be potentially in that Monaco, you know, Champions League teams. And, you know, at the very least, the good thing about these teams dropping down, at least it makes some of the tires a little bit more appetite, you know, a little bit more mouth-watering, a little bit more, you know, rivals will banner it and say, well, I'm not watching. But we all know, come Thursday nights, you are all tuning in to watch Man United and Arsenal play in the Europa League. Whether you like it or not, you are all tuning in to watch us. Whether you're watching us to lose or whether you're watching us to win, it's irrelevant. You're watching, you know. It's fighters often say that, you know. There's controversial fighters out there like Conor McGregor who split opinion, but you watch him. You still buy the pay-per-view. You know, you're still tuning in to watch it happen, and that's what we'll do. Terry, what happened to Vibes FC?
Oh, just we're still developing schedules. With
KJ's very busy. I work KJ very hard to be fair with you all. To be fair with you all. I can't remember a Europa knockout with such big name teams. I mean, they've been there. I mean, Man United and Liverpool played each other, our first ever clash in Europe a few years back. But I don't know, it felt different to this. I mean, that game was. I still want that in my lifetime, and I'm sure it will happen. It's crazy to think Man United in the Champions League never happened. No, final, I don't actually think I'd like a final. I think the final would be too. I think even most Liverpool fans would agree a Man United Liverpool final would just be unbearable in terms of build-up and pressure. Winning it would be immense, but it would just be nice to get Liverpool at some point in the knockout stages of a Champions League. But we've got to get back to that point first of all. Love the playoff system. I think it's a good idea. It gives a bit more jeopardy to the competition as well. But yeah.
To be fair, the reason why I'm not necessarily annoyed about the two games is because if this was last year, we would play around the 32 now anyway. You know what I mean? Like, so we'll be playing those two games regardless anyway. So to me, it's an adjustment that's not really
I get
change
you.
Much.
I get you. Who do you want, Neeks? Who do you want?
Barca.
You want Barca?
I mean, I kind of do, not because I think, we're going to beat them, because I'm not sure we would, to be honest. They're like, as bad as they are, they're not that bad. And I think they're actually better than us, to be honest, especially going forward anyway. But I kind of want a mega tie. I want something to be excited about.
I get that.
Yeah, I'm like when somewhere in 4 competitions, it's going to be hard to win any of them. And I'm talking Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup, Europa League. It's going to be hard to win any of them based on quality of opposition or just number of games. So at least it's going to be something to be excited. And I think a mega tie would do that for me.
I get you on that. And that's a great thing. And we need to win something. We haven't won something in a long time. AJ here says, Terry, what would you do if Pogba scores for Juve to knock you out? I would be shocked that Pogba's fit. That's probably the first thing I would be shocked that Pogba is fit to play. But yeah, that would be soul destroying. Just to let everyone know, Fan Channel Review is out after this stream. So go to the homepage at the end of the stream and you will see it. There's a thumbnail. It's ready to go. It's it was a fun stream to record. I'm telling you that now. It's a very, very fun stream to record. So make sure you're ready for that release later on today. Top 6 as well, 6 p.m. tonight. That link will be up very, very soon for you all. So get yourselves ready. Tom, it must be nice not to be in this competition, eh?
It is. What it was, before the Ajax game, I was seriously considering the possibility of this. Thank God I don't have to consider the possibility of it. Honestly, like, it's just a bit of a... Look, they bring out Zoltan Gira to be the Europa League ambassador.
No, I know that. Do you know what's crazy about it, though, right? This is the thing. I do feel, and I think as football fans, and maybe I'm just a little bit nostalgic, I do feel like, I know there's not as much money in the Europa League as the Champions League, but I do feel as fans, we have killed this competition. When you speak to European people, this is looked at as massive still. How we used to look at the UEFA Cup and more so the Cup Winners' Cup in England. This is how it's viewed. It's almost like we and it's interesting. You go up and down the country, speak to my brothers who are Leyton Orient fans, the FA Cup, they played their first game. They played over the weekend, the first round. Huge. It's literally, in my opinion, it's not even football fans in England. It's fans of the traditional top 6 teams have almost obliterated the importance of domestic cups and the Europa League. And I think we've done that through banter. As much as I enjoy football banter, I think football banter has almost killed it because it's like, if you win it, it was Mickey Mouse trophy. And if you went out, it was, yeah, but it's a crap trophy. So why does it matter? And for me, I don't know. I think we've got to bring it back. I'm not suggesting we say it's a major trophy like a Premier League or a Champions League because they were always seen as more prestigious. But I don't know, every other country and every other level of fan in England takes it seriously. But yet maybe it's the money in the Premier League as well. I don't know, but it's something about it just a little bit. I don't know.
It's a good competition. Like it is. Like it's easy to say, oh, because KJ, because you're in it now, you say that. But no, like when we won the Europa League on the Jose, I celebrated that like any other trophy because it's not easy to win this trophy at all. Like the games, the travel, you know what I mean? Like it's not. And it's just teams in England, like you say, the big 6 teams that treat it like it's some next second-rate like community shield. Like if you Newcastle fans today were in the Europa League and they won it, they would be going mad. You know what I mean? Like West Ham fans when they were almost about to win it.
We publicly diminish it, but we all know because we've done it ourselves. Once you get maybe to that, when you're in that quarterfinal, suddenly there's I don't think fans do think it's crap. They just say that as a get out of jail free card if they don't win it. The same as the League Cup. I've been at games, in pubs, around friends' houses before Twitter existed, before social media existed, and people were gutted to go out of those competitions. It's only since social media has been a thing. It's like, no, I don't care about going out of the League Cup. Yes, you do. Anyone who gets knocked out this week, that less games over helps us in the Prem. It's all cop outs. All cop outs.
But the only thing with the League Cup growing up is that, of course, we're disappointed to go out because you never want to see a team lose, and you want your team to win every trophy. But most teams, especially the big teams in England, play their youngsters and their reserve team as it was back then. We don't have reserve football anymore. Wenger used to use the League Cup as like a breeding ground for, like, he would just play all his kids, and people say, oh, he's disrespecting it. And then when people start playing their best team, it's like, oh, well, we don't want to win anyway. So and you said it's like people do use it as a coping mechanism. But I think when it comes to Europa League, for example, UEFA did a lot to diminish it by expanding the competition. When they expanded the Champions League, which meant you got more weaker teams in both the Champions League and then the Europa League, it takes away from the, I guess, the quality of it. When it's the UEFA Cup back in the days when Ronaldo won it and that kind of thing, it was like the top 16 or 24 teams maybe in Europe in the Champions League, and then the rest of them were in the UEFA Cup. So now we've got Man United, Juve, Barca. That actually brings a bit more prestige to it because now it's hard to win it as opposed to Club Brugge, Ajax, and Sporting.
No, I agree. I think all these plans around Super Leagues and everything else, what they should actually be doing is like what some the departments of government want to do: shrink things, let's make it smaller. So make the Champions League smaller, the Europa League smaller. You can have the Conference League, make it smaller, but higher quality teams in each of them. Spread it over Monday. Champions League only on Tuesdays, Europa League only on Wednesdays, Conference League only on Thursdays. Make it more compact, more exciting. I think more people would tune in, but yeah, they're going. Their end is all about making money, as we know. First name out the hat, come in now, my people. First name out the hat, Zoltan Gira doing his thing. I like his collar though. I haven't worn a wide cut collar in a while. First name out, Barcelona. Barcelona are the first team out. Is it going to be Manchester United? Is it going to be United? If it is, we just end the stream.
I need Roma. I want Mourinho back at the Camp Nou.
Roma would be dope.
Yeah, I'll take anyone but Barca. I just don't want Barca. For some reason, Barca, I just know in February.
Listen, Barca will knock us out. But I'd rather get knocked out of Barca than bloody Celta Vigo in the quarterfinals.
Okay, we're twisting it now. He's about to pull it out. Hold it. It's Man United. It's Man United. It's Man United. Barcelona. Oh my God. It's Man United. Barcelona. Manchester United. Barcelona. Shit.
So the two biggest clubs. The two biggest clubs in England have drawn the two biggest clubs in Spain in their respective competitions.
It's crazy. Listen, I didn't want them. I'm not going to change my tune, but we'll talk about it a little bit when it's done. We'll talk about it when it's done. But wow, Juve are now out.
Listen, Barca, Man United is the biggest tie. Drawn today. It's the biggest tie drawn today. Yeah, I said it. Somebody had to say it.
That doesn't land when they promote it with Europa Nights theme tune.
the song's better.
So Juve's draw is coming out right now, people. Sultan Gear is giving it a little twist. Is this going to be a big one as well? They've got nonce. They've got a nonce. They've got nonce. Sorry, got nonce, not a nonce. Yeah, sorry. Slip of the tongue.
Jem, Barca Man United is a bigger tie than Chelsea Dortmund. More people will watch Barca Man United than Chelsea Dortmund. I'll tell you that for a fact. As a matter of fact, you're not even going to watch Chelsea Dortmund. You're going to watch Barca Man United.
All I've got to say is the warm balls were in play. It has to be the case. Because they know.
Is that why he was drawn first? He was starting to cool down, so they had to get it out first.
Yeah, had to get it out quick, boy.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's huge.
They needed that draw. That draw is probably going to be the highest viewed Europa League game, I think, ever. Maybe even more than the final.
Yeah, no, that's a massive game.
They've got their final now. Their final. Yeah, listen, it is what it is.
Midtjylland drawn out.
It's not bigger than Real Madrid, Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, do you know what I'm gonna say? We'll do this at the time. We'll put the viewing figures up. We'll put the.
Liverpool. Listen, Real Madrid is the biggest club in the world. And Liverpool are decent, so a few people will watch it. Tom.
Have you noticed now as well? The draw's dead now. No one cares. Yeah.
So Sporting Midtjylland, and then we got Shakhtar. Who else is in? Who actually came from the? Ajax are still in it on the.
Yeah. But the thing is, there's obviously we're the only English team in this draw.
Yeah.
So
few United fans only care about a popularity contest.
I mean, that's all we got, man. That's all we got.
Yeah, it is what it is.
As Roma
Frankie De
came
Jong derby as well. That's what it is as well. It's the
Oh,
Frankie De Jong derby.
It's
He might be our
interesting.
player by then. We might have bought him.
Frankie De Jong went to play Champions League football, and here he is playing Europa League football at Old Trafford. How things work
He didn't want
themselves
to
out.
be here,
innit?
but it's where he ended up. It's where he ended up.
Ronaldo versus Bayern. Oh, Barca, sorry. Will Ronaldo still be at Man United when that tie comes around?
I hope not. I hope
He,
not.
he shouldn't be touching the pitch if he is.
He needs
I mean-
to do one more Karma celebration at the new camp. Karma. Ajax.
Ajax are out now.
Here we go. Who are them man gonna get? They can't get PSV. They'll probably get
Roma
Roma, Monaco,
or Union Berlin.
Yeah,
Union
to be
Berlin
fair-
would be a good, well, Union Berlin are obviously good form in the Bundesliga right now. That'd be a good
Yeah.
game. But I'd
Yeah,
like
Ajax
Roma.
Roma would be great.
Roma,
Ajax
Ajax,
Roma will be good.
yeah, good
Yeah.
game. Jose back in the,
But
back
the
at the helm.
philosophies of football just clashing against each other. We'd love to see
Yeah,
it.
exactly. It's like watching Katie Hopkins in a beauty contest versus Maya Jama. Do you know what I mean? It's the difference is some people would pick the crusty Karen. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they 100% would. Some people like that kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Well, Ajax Union Berlin though.
Yeah.
Union Berlin. That's do you know what? That's still. I mean, Union Berlin. No one knows much about them. No one actually watches the Bundesliga, or most people don't. That are on the terrace, but they're top. They're top there right now. So they must be doing something right. Bayer Leverkusen out the hat now. See, they dropped down.
Leverkusen Roma could be a good one.
They're them. They can get Roma, PSV, or Monaco.
Oh, yeah, you know what it is? I'm hoping for some madness when I have to redraw the competition again.
Come on, don't be that shook, bruv.
Wait, okay. So
No,
who did you want to
I
draw? You wanted the easy tie.
I wanted, huh?
You wanted the easy tie.
Yeah. I'm I'm one of them. I'm shameless. Give me the easiest run that you'll ever see.
No, listen, I hear it. I just can't see us winning the Europa League anyway. That's the thing. Like I don't know. I can't see us winning it. So we're going to play all these dead teams and then get knocked out to Barca in the semis, and we just wasted. Like we are tired. We got 11 players plus maybe one. When we see that, obviously we talk about it more.
For me, this is the trophy that I wanted. I wanted the Europa League. Granted, Arsenal obviously look like the favourites right now because the way that they're playing. But I wanted this trophy.
Do we know when these finals, these playoffs happen? Are the dates?
February. I think it's end of
In
February.
Feb.
I ain't got the exact date.
Yeah, so basically where the round of 32 would be, this is replaced that.
Okay.
But I don't think Arsenal are favourites because if Arsenal are in the
16th
title
and
race, if Arsenal are in the
16th
title
and
race,
23rd.
they cannot play their first team in both the Europa League and the Premier League. In the group stages, they rested up throughout and they got through. You know, credit to them. But if they do that in the knockout rounds, they're not winning it. So I think a European team will win it. Juve are struggling in the league. I could see them going all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's when we won it, it's because we were struggling to get into the top four, and Jose gambled, went right. Let's go all in for the Europa League. If you actually look at the last 5-6 games of the season for Man United that year, the results were awful. But you actually go back to those there was no intensity. He was resting a lot of people. We got a few injuries as well, and it was all to be ready for that Europa League final. And I think with Man United, that could end up being that may be our route this year. But
Terry, pause if you want to see all the games.
Okay, cool. Yeah, there we go. So we'll put that up on the screen now. So the first, we'll come to Barca Man United at the end actually, but we'll do it in reverse order. So first one, gents, Salzburg versus Roma. Who are we going with as the winners in that game?
You have to go with Roma. Even though they only scraped through, they only scraped through on the last day in that group.
Which I'm surprised about because I thought this would be a team that would be one of out of the natural Europa League teams. I thought they would be one of the teams to go through and potentially win it.
Didn't they only qualify for
they've
Europa?
had some injury problems though. They've had some injury. I think Dybala's been out for them for a lot of the games. Tammy Abraham's doing Tammy Abraham.
Tammy's reverted to the mean. That's what it was. Last season.
I think Mourinho will come alive in the knockouts. That's what he does. And the chance to go up against so many of these big teams and ruin their Europa Leagues. That's what
he also wants to. I mean, they won the Conference League last year. It's why they're even in it in the first place. But it's a tough one. The next one that I want to get your opinions on, people, especially the viewers. Sevilla, PSV Eindhoven. That's a good game.
Yeah. That is a
Ooh,
good game, isn't it? That is a
that
very
is a
good game.
game. You know what?
Ruben
Sevilla,
Nistelrooy.
they're not doing the great in the league. They've just lost Lopetegui as well, their manager. So I wouldn't be surprised if PSV actually come on top in this game. You know,
I think it all depends on if Gakpo's still there. If Gakpo's still there after January, then I'll give PSV the edge. But if not, Sevilla. They've just got that natural quality, haven't they?
Yeah,
And I
that's
know,
true.
and they know this competition so well as well. Yeah, I'm going to go with PSV in that one though. I don't know why. I just
You got to back Rude. You got to back Rude as well.
back Rude. Yeah, Monaco, Leverkusen. I swear that was the Champions League final.
No, that was Porto, Monaco, and Leverkusen won
Monaco.
Madrid.
Ah, there we go. Yes, my knowledge has been tested there. But yeah, who are you picking to go through in that one, gents?
Leverkusen.
Yeah, Xabi Alonso's Leverkusen.
That is a tough one. I think you probably have to go Leverkusen.
I think they just beat Union Berlin 5-0 the weekend. So.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I would go. Yeah, I'd go with that. I'd go with Leverkusen on that. Ajax, Union Berlin. What we saying, gents?
Oh, I'm gonna go for the upset. I'm going for the upset. I reckon Union Berlin take them, bro. I reckon Union Berlin take them.
Yeah.
Ajax aren't playing well.
They're not playing well at all.
Ajax are not playing well. They need that Ten Hag back.
They're not playing well at all, and I think the way that Union Berlin play, from what I've heard, it's very structured, it's very defensively sound. I think that will undo Ajax because they're defending now that Martinez is gone and he's not part of the Timber. Is the defending can be woeful at times. So I feel like Union Berlin got this. You know,
I'd go Union Berlin as well.
Yeah, I'm the same. Union Berlin all the way for me on this. Shakhtar Donetsk versus Rennes.
I'm gonna go Shakhtar.
Yeah, same.
I'll go Stade Rennais.
That is if Mudryk's still there as well.
Yeah, true. They don't really have. I don't think what will help them either is that I don't think they don't really have home advantage either, do they? They're not going to have, even though like the world's kind of behind sort of teams and people from that nation right now. I don't know. I'd go with Stad on that one there. The next game, Sporting versus Midtjylland.
Sporting.
Yeah,
Marcus Edwards masterclass.
Absolutely. The next one, are we going to go with Juve or Nantes?
I'm never backing a Nantes, so it's gonna have to be the old lady.
the old lady or the Nantes? That sounds like an old horror film.
No,
Juve. Come on, it's got to be Juve.
Juve are going through it though. Let's not act like they're not. They're going through.
They are. They just beat Inter on the weekend though, but Inter are also going through it. So
yeah. But Juve will go through. You'll go through.
Yeah.
I don't see them winning the Europa League though.
Yeah, I feel like Juve will go through. It all depends on what happens with Vlahovic.
Nantes are going through it as well. Nantes are just off the relegation zone in League One.
Yeah, I did. Someone told me that Nantes were going down, so or could go down. So yeah, it certainly could be.
Hopefully 10 to 20 years maybe.
Terrible. Yeah, they're definitely going down. And Juve, though, look, they'll win this game. But I'm intrigued to see what happens with Vlahovic, because a lot of reports coming out of Italy that although that you'll get the big tier ones in Italy say there'll be nothing will happen, he will stay. But the player's not happy. He's frustrated at the way they play. By all accounts, they're no closer to sacking the manager. Maybe somebody that needs a striker comes in January and says there's some money to take. If they lose Vlahovic, I don't think there's any hope. And the regression in him since he's been there because of the style of football is crazy. Someone's got to set that man free. But the big one, boys, the big one. Barcelona versus Manchester United. What are we saying?
Listen, as anyone who obviously you might have joined the stream when I joined at the beginning, I wanted Barcelona. I don't think we're going to win the competition anyway. I didn't have it from the start. I don't think our squad is deep enough. You know, we could get knocked out of the League Cup and the FA Cup, and then I'm like, oh, actually no, maybe we need a easier tie to go through in the Europa League. I don't know what's going to happen. But as things stand now, we're in full competitions. We ain't got the squad for it, whether it's in depth or quality. There's a lot of injuries issues as well. So I wanted Barca because I thought we're going to go out at some point. Let's have a proper tie. Let's have a game that you can get excited for. And then whatever happens, happens. Listen, Barca ain't great. They're not. But neither are we. And that's what makes this tie interesting. I think Barca, they have enough in attack with Lewandowski, Dembele, Fati. I would say those are probably the three dangerous players that Man United need to look at and focus on and be worried about, really and truly, because all of them are electric in different ways. If we don't make any signings in January, I don't give us much of a chance of going through. But I'm excited for the tie. I'm excited for the match.
I am not excited for this tie. I'm not excited for this match. This is going to suck ass. We versus Barcelona is not great. Yeah, we had the Champions League semi or quarter with that beautiful Scholes volley when we won the Champions League. But we've been embarrassed by them twice in finals, and it hurt me every time. I've been scarred. I still got that PTSD. When we was in the Champions League after beat PSG, they demolished us as well. I do not like facing Barcelona, no matter what competition it is. It's going to be tough. They might not be in their best form, but we are so needing in reinforcements and rest. So it's going to be tough. I think Barcelona knock us out.
Let's not get it twisted. They were terrible in the Champions League, and we watched it with our own eyes every week in that studio, KJ. Mm-hmm. But let's look at the Liga. Still a very strong, competitive league. They're top. Yes, Real Madrid have a game in hand over them, but this is the team that's drawn one and lost one all year. They've conceded just 4 goals in La Liga. Yeah. And for me, it's a case of right now, if we played them, I think they would knock us out. Yeah. We need to reinforce in January for me to feel confident that we can beat them. If they get more players in January, if they sell another lever and they bring somebody else in, if they're more settled, because the one thing they did in the summer, which is why we know they're struggling, is they bought too many players at once. That, you know, when everyone was screaming, "Oh, we've got to buy 7, 8, 9, 10 players," it's crazy. 4 or 5 outfield players, I think, is the maximum you can bring in a summer for it to gel quickly. The maximum, and even then, 2 or 3 of those players have got to understand and know the system your manager's playing when they arrive. You're teaching 5 new people teaching 8 new people a brand new system under a brand new manager moving from various countries. It's disaster. But by February, who knows if that's clicked or not? You know, and they've got danger all over the park. So yeah, I would pick Barcelona right now to go through as well. But I hope I feel more confident by the time we play them.
I think it depends on their injuries, you know, because I don't know if you've seen much of Barca's backline recently. I know they've got a bunch of injuries to like Araujo and Koundé. They're playing Marcos Alonso centre-back, Alejandro Balde, who's a young left-back at right-back. Gerard Piqué is now retired, so they can't even have him alongside Marcos
Alonso. I wish they had
Piqué.
We might win.
If they've still got injury problems, I think that the pace of your attack could cause them a lot of problems because they're one of the sides like us who are insistent upon the way they play, regardless of who's playing. And I think Anthony, Rashford, less so Sancho, but Anthony and Rashford especially, if you're giving them the ball against a weakened Barca back line, over the top, in behind, they're going to cause a lot of problems. It's just whether you can keep Lewandowski quiet.
It's their attack. It's their attack that I'm worried about. Lera is one of the greatest goal scorers we've ever seen. You know, I don't care. And Dembele, on his day, is one of the best wingers in the world. You know what I mean? Like he's unstoppable. So you've got those 2 already. Then you've got Fati, who's a great young player. You've got Rafinha who can come off the bench. We can see what he's done in the Premier League. So against our defense right now, especially if Varane comes back and picks up another injury, and all we've got really at the back is Martinez. The low will probably be tired because we won't have another right back because he's played every single minute. And Luke Shaw and Malacia are very inconsistent. So it's going to be a tough game.
I think we definitely have to play on the counter. Like that's not even a question. We ain't going to part. Like as bad as Barcelona, they still keep a lot of possession. That is still ingrained in their setup.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very, very interesting one indeed. And the previews will change. Then you'll get a few of our haters that will tune in if we're confident in 3 months and go, but you weren't confident 3 months ago. Let's see what the world looks like then. Couple of super chats to do here. Yeah, Martinez suspended for that first leg as well. Very true. You heard Richard Keys was angry about Arteta. Does he have an agenda towards Arsenal? Thoughts? I don't know what he said, so I don't know whether he has an agenda or not. But Richard Keys is Richard Keys. You know, he gets angry about a lot of things, to be honest with you. The Barca versus Man United game is the money maker of the draw, not surprise.
Yeah, Europa League need those big ties. They need it. Listen, I don't know what the rules are when it comes to the last 16 in terms of country, but if Barca go through, Arsenal get ready, innit? That's what I'm saying.
But I think you can get anybody because it's essentially only the round of 32 was when you couldn't go against the same country or same group.
No. Even in that, you couldn't face the team from your country.
Oh, in around the 16.
Yeah. No, I mean, maybe around 16, but in the playoffs, you couldn't play a team.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though. Yeah. So by the time that the round of 16 come, we can get Arsenal, I believe. Yeah, you're right. We'll probably get them. Or they'll look at it and go, it depends on the form. They go, Arsenal United looking good. Let's make sure they're in the final. There's a way they could do. I mean, it's one of those weird ones with football. I've always felt like one thing about tennis that I like is the way it's done on seeding is you won't ever get the best players play each other into at least the semi-finals, sometimes a quarterfinal. Like there's an element of me that likes that in football, but it's also nice for everybody else when you like in the Champions League today, even with the Europa League, Arsenal will be sitting there buzzing with this draw because one of the other favourites in Barcelona and Man United go out now. It's one less team that they may have to beat if they want to win this trophy. But there we go. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you. Fan channel review out as soon as we finish here. So stay with the Football Terrace. Make sure you watch it. It was a banger. Ty killed me. Ty absolutely killed. I still can't believe at the beginning of all these fan cams, he still thanks, isn't just Black Lives Matter. He doesn't just thank the NHS. The man was thanking tube drivers. like they're not getting paid 80 grand a year to do it. You know what I'm saying? You know, like they do it for free in their time off. It's crazy. Listen, cheers, boys, for coming on and having your say. Really do appreciate it. Until next time, everybody, take care. Look after yourselves, and we'll see you all again soon. Thank you.
It's Thursday night.